Hi, and welcome to the Personal Growth Program. I'm Coach Burnside. I'm a speaker, trainer, coach, and the founder of the Gold Medal Coaching Academy. And I'm excited to have you along today as you explore and see what it is we have to offer here at the Academy within the Personal Growth Program. I don't know about you, but it's one of the most important pillars when it comes down to understanding what it is that we as individuals want. I teach a lot and train a lot on coaching teams. And teams are made up of individuals just like you and I. And it's one of my passions to always share and to always grow people and help them achieve their fullest potential. So with that being said, what I want to do today is just that. I want to give you some of the insights to what it is that we have to offer through the Personal Growth Program. So before we get real deep into that though, I do want to warn you that I feel that one of our biggest struggles as individuals is obviously having a path, right? That path that we can say, okay, look, I'm doing really well here, or maybe I'm struggling a little bit in this area. And if you're like me at all, of course you understand that there's some struggles out there. The path that we're on, it's hard to stay focused from time to time. It's difficult to stay disciplined. I don't know about you, but well, it's probably why you're here watching the video, right? Is because you're looking. And the reason I'm here producing the video is because I'm always looking. I'm always looking for opportunities to learn and grow. And I can tell you that our personal space, the only thing that we really control, the only thing that we have control over is ourselves, which for me from time to time, I wonder if I even have control over that. But it's really the only space that we can control. And so with that being said, what do we have to do to champion ourselves? What do we have to do to have the mindset to champion other things? What do we have to do to have that mindset so that we can go champion our visions or become the person that we want to become? And so today what I want to do with you is I want to share with you the acronym Be a Champ. And through the acronym of Be a Champ, we're going to learn how to champion anything. And when I say the acronym Be a Champ, it started out at that. It used to be just Be a Champ. Now I've moved it into champion the things that we want to. So we're going to use the acronym champion, all right? So the first part of champion is being coachable. And I know at first you're going to say, well, I am coachable. And we'll get deep into this within other videos and throughout the program, but today I just want you to think about that. There's moments that we are coachable. And then there's moments that we're not very coachable as people, but I can tell you, the people that are at the next level and those who achieve the next level, champions, they are always coachable. Even the best in the world are always seeking better coaches or more coaches or coaches that can bring a different angle. So my challenge always is to make sure that we stay coachable. The second part of that acronym is to be hardy. And what does it mean to be hardy? What does that word even mean for us? And I can tell you to be hardy that you have to enjoy the grind. The grind is part of the process. And for us as individuals to champion that next level, we have to enjoy the process more than we do the results. And so what does that mean? Well, what that means is, I remember them interviewing Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest basketball players there is, or ever has been. They interviewed him and said what his key to success was. And they said that his key was he really enjoyed practices more than he enjoyed the game. And that's the process, right? He enjoyed the game, but he really enjoyed the practices and getting better. And that's being hardy, is being able to grind through that from time to time, but yet find an enjoyment in it. The third component of this champion acronym is obviously being accountable. We have to be held accountable as individuals to keep making progress. And if we're not held accountable, we might sleep in. If we're not held accountable, we might not even show up to work for that day. If we're not held accountable, we might get off of that program that we've been working so hard to stay on. So accountability is sometimes a drag, but also accountability is what keeps us moving down that lane. Now understand, these are the topics. I'm not getting real deep in those today. That's what the video series is for. But I want you to understand the great insight that we have here as we learn to champion ourselves and champion things around us and become the people that we want to become. And I hope you can share my passion and my desire with that as you look at these things, and hopefully you can relate to them and say, yeah, this is me. This is me. These are some areas I struggle, and I understand there's some areas that maybe you have total control over and you don't need my help. That's great. But what about the other areas, right? So let's go into the M. The M is motivated. And I have a little quote here on motivated. It says, great inspiration can get sparked from an external idea, but must be fueled from an internal passion. So we all think that motivation comes from that outside, right? That somebody needs to motivate us. And I can tell you that true motivation comes from within. And how do we get that? Where do we find that? How do we know when we're in our lane, right? How do we know that what we're doing is what we should be doing? People call it passion, people call it motivation. And how do we decipher the difference, and where does it start, and how do we keep it going? So those are great questions that will be answered in this video series. The next part is the P in the champ. So P for me is progressive. All champions understand that progression takes time. There's no such thing as overnight success. And to get this mindset right is important for us, because I can't tell you how many times, even for myself, I wanted things to be quicker, right? Maybe P should be for patience, because sometimes we have to have patience in order to progress. But at the end of the day, progress is critical, just to know that we keep moving into the right area, that we're getting to the place that we need to, that we're setting a stake in the sand and being able to measure our progress. Now, don't mistake that means that we're always winning. Winning doesn't always mean that we're progressing, and losing doesn't mean that we're not progressing either. So we have to understand how we measure our progress has to be real. How do you measure your progress? How do you know if you're progressing? What does progress even look like? How do you define that? And those are things that I'm going to tell you in this video series as we go through and you get deeper into this. You're going to start to understand those things of how I can measure my progress, how I know that every day, at the end of the day, I've moved closer towards my target, or towards the end of the month, I've gotten closer to my target. So those are things to be thinking about. So going on to the next three things in the champion, I is in order for us is to be intentional. What does it mean to be intentional? Continually striving to be more efficient, right, is intentional. We don't have wasted footsteps. We don't have wasted movement. We know what we're after, and we're getting better at that. And in the business world, what I call that is we become gold diggers. We become miners. We're not farmers, and nothing against either one, against farmers. I love farmers, but in the end of the day, we can't be so spread out that we're not intentional about what it is. And coaching people, it's always interesting. In coaching younger athletes, it's always fun to watch them and how they're just always moving and hustling and flying around, and they don't even really know what they're doing, right? And then as athletes get older, when they get confused, they quit moving. And they forget what their purpose is and where they should be going, because their mind gets busy. And I know that happens to us, right? As individuals, we get so overwhelmed that our feet quit. And we forget about being intentional about what it is that we want. And then we just start existing. And nothing is more painful for us as human beings than just to exist. So I know that we have to be intentional, but how do we know? How do we set up that plan and prepare that plan? I'll walk you through that in these video series and how we move forward. And the O, of course, in this deal is going to be optimistic. And that doesn't mean that we don't recognize the weeds, right? That doesn't mean to be optimistic means that everything's going to be okay no matter what. Being optimistic gives us a chance, because there's going to be days. There's going to be days that you may not want to go fight the grind. There may be days that you're just like, hey, I'm tired of this deal. I get it and understand that. But we also, if we can keep that optimistic attitude that things are going to get better, I can promise you, with that attitude and that mindset, things will get better. I had a gentleman ask me the other day, he says, how's your day today? And I said, oh, it's great. And he's like, oh, he says, you sound like you're a very happy person. I said, absolutely. I said, I haven't had any bad days yet in my life. I've had some worse than others. I've had some good days and I've had some great days. But I don't know if I really have any bad days. And it's not because I want to ignore the things that go on in my life. I'm just excited about for the things that are going to take place in my life. And that might be a challenge. That might be a challenge. And the last one, that I want to talk about is the N in our champion. And the N is for noteworthy. And I want you to think about noteworthy for a minute. Most of us feel that we're not worthy to achieve next level. Most of us feel that we're not worthy to champion things. Most of us feel, why is it that I should be able to be better? People are going to laugh at me. People are going to doubt me. I'm going to doubt myself. I'm going to have self-doubt. And that's true. There's going to be a bunch of people out there that are happy for your success. And there's going to be a bunch of people out there that aren't happy for your success. And what we have to understand is we're deserving. We have been given the opportunity to become great. We have skills and talents that nobody else has. We have to understand what it is that we want to champion. So as we look at the two words, not worthy, what if we were just to add an E in the middle and put those together and we become noteworthy? Because I can tell you this, becoming noteworthy is one of our big challenges. But I can also tell you that once you understand that you are noteworthy, that you deserve to have better, that you deserve to accomplish things that you've always wanted to accomplish, that you deserve to live your passions and your desires. Once we understand that and we have these skills in place, we can champion anything. I'm here to tell you today, this mindset that I talk about today has been 20 plus years in the making for me. I got into the personal development space 20 plus years ago and started working on myself. And as the founder of the Gold Medal Coaching Academy, this is one of the pillars that we have to understand. It's the individual success pillar in the Gold Medal Coaching formula. In order for teams to become great, we have to have great people within those teams. In order for things to become huge, we have to have a team behind it. There's nothing that's accomplished without a great team. And there's nothing that's accomplished without a great mindset. So I hope my challenge for you and my challenge for me is to help you get the mindset that you want. I can tell you that my life has been grand. I can also tell you that my life has been a struggle from time to time. And the struggle's real. I get that. I understand that. But at the end of the day, if we have the mindset of a champion, we can accomplish anything. So I want you to do me a favor. I want you to enter your name and your email below. I want you to push that send button, and I want to see you on the other side because I know I can help you champion those things that you desire and have a passion for. So go ahead, click that button, and I'll see you on the other side.